Welcome to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm AJ Dean, your host, and hello, everybody. It's so great to celebrate this wonderful producer. We have a great special VIP guest. Her name is Martina Beate Webster, and she is an amazing, she's also CEO of Darmar Productions, LLC, and she's a film producer, and she is just absolutely fabulous. So let's say hello to her and welcome her. Hey, Martina, how are you? So happy you're here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's truly appreciated.
It's so great. I was reading your bio, and you are absolutely fabulous. I'm so excited that you're here and to get to talk to you because not only are you a producer, but you're the owner of the Show Low Film Festival in Arizona White Mountains and Arizona White Mountains Film Festival, held every third week in October. So, and your company motto is Movies with Meaning, and I love that. So tell us a little bit about how's it going? How's the film festival going?
Well, it's very exciting. It's going to be this next weekend, and it's our 7th year, so we have 3 more years to go to apply for Oscar qualified. It's not automatic. And this year we had Angel Studios and Sunset Pictures presenting the opening film, and they're actually flying in some of the stars. So we have Everett Osborne and Jude Thomas and the director, Martin Beate, and then one of the producers, Pete Wooster there. We're hoping that Jeremy Pivens could potentially, move his schedule around, but you know how it is. When they get a film, they have to go. But it's very exciting. We're having filmmakers from all over the world. We only show the top 100, but we never, we haven't gotten to the 100 yet because they have to have over a certain score out of 10 and be recommended from the judges. So it's not like we take, the top 100. It has to have a certain criteria too, but it's very, very exciting to have them all here.
Wow, congratulations. And I'm so proud of you. I have no clue as how to what really goes on behind a film festival, but it's a lot of hard work. And I just want to tip my hat to you and say how impressed I am. How do you do it? How do you do it all, Martina?
Well, I don't know. I don't mind saying my age. I'm turned 65 this year. I just got my first Social Security check, and I'm horrible at knitting, so I had to find something so that I won't be bored out of my mind. And filmmaking and producing is right up my alley because it's an event to me, and doing the film festival was something dear to my heart because when I started making the circuits with what we were doing and realized how some film festivals do really great and some of them not so great. And I wanted to do something that was very meaningful. So we do require the filmmakers to be here, and we actually have industry people coming in to mentor them. So when they come, they have all these opportunities. I don't really invite a lot of distribution companies because there's only a few I trust, and I hope I don't get in trouble for that, but it's true. But they do have the opportunity to pitch to a studio. And that's huge.
Wow.
Whether or not they make it is irrelevant, but just that, they have 2 minutes because that's all you get when you have a big executive in front of you. So they get 2 minutes to pitch their film.
Incredible.
That's exciting.
Incredible. And, that is so exciting. And I'm super proud of you. And
Thank you.
You put so much work into it behind the scenes and all of the organization, the emails, the promotion of the film festival, reaching out, like you said, distribution companies. And I agree with you 100%, Martina. There's you have to be selective in the distribution companies because it has to be a right fit, right?
It does, and it seems like the indie filmmakers, they think, oh, they just jump on the first offer they get, and not realizing that if they don't have their contract looked over by an entertainment lawyer, or if they don't know what to ask for, they end up in a 20-year deal with a $15,000 overhead, and they never really see a dime. And that's tough, but it is what it is. You need to educate yourself. And I think the film festival will help with that, because we will talk a lot about distribution and what to look for. uh, I learned so much in different groups that I was in. I knew exactly what to ask for our Christmas film. I even asked for a performance clause. So if he didn't come through the first year with what he said he would, it would revert back to me automatically. So I learned so much from my mentors, as well as, just listening the things that other people went through.
This is fascinating. And, these are great lessons to learn what others have gone through. And you mentioned, getting the right fit and a good benefit for the independent filmmaker. And you're right. And if it's not a good deal, you can always self-distribute, right, Martina?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, why would you pay someone a $20,000 overhead? I don't care how big their name is as a distribution company, if there's really no, upfront money, which unfortunately most of them no longer do. Even the channels will no longer do a 3-year lease. They do everything now on commercials, profit shares from commercials. So I think it's really important that they know all of this, because just being sidetracked by a big name doesn't necessarily mean you'll make money. And in the end, how are you going to find, investors if you don't ever pay them back? So self-distribution is your better bet at that point.
Thank you so much for that. I love your answer. And speaking of the Show Low Film Festival, is it on Film Freeway? How can people submit their film, and what kind of genres are you open to? Do you have different categories? And share a little bit about.
Yes. Well, we actually do pretty much all the genres. So it doesn't matter whether you have horror or faith-based. Um, I think there's very few films that ever get rejected because of the genre. I mean, it would have to be a porn film. That's that's about it. That is probably not something we would consider. But other than that, we have all genres. We have, shorts to features. We give it a good mix. And yeah, it's exciting. We truly have a big mix this year, especially. And to enter, yes, we're on Film Freeway. We're a gold member, and it is on sholofilmfestival.com. The next entries obviously are not going to open up again until November 1st. But if you use MW40, you will get a 40% discount from the show.
Wow, thank you so much. And to everybody who is watching, please take advantage of that benefit. What a beautiful gift and a blessing. Thank you so much, Martina, for extending that. And I'm super excited. So please submit, your films that you've got and whatever genre it is. And also, I wanted to ask you, Martina, how did you come up with the name Show Low Film Festival? What does it mean?
Well, that's actually a very interesting question, because there's a White Mountain Film Festival around New York somewhere. So even so, I have White Mountains, which these are the White Mountains, and it includes a whole bunch of cities. But there was one, so I'm going, okay, that won't work. And Sholo is actually the name of the city, and it was won in a card game by showing the lowest, and one of the people showed a deuce of clubs. So the city was named Sholo, and the main street still is called the Deuce of Clubs.
That
And
is,
there's only one Sholo in the whole world.
that is so that is so cute. That is so great. Thank you so much for that. That is a great name. It's very catchy. It rhymes, show low.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to remember that. And I love the logo you've got here. And what an interesting story that, showing the two of clubs. That was that's beautiful. What a beautiful and original and thought out film festival name. I just love that so much. So, okay, great, wonderful. I do want to, I have another fun photo on here, and this is your daughter. Isn't she beautiful, everybody?
Oh, thank you. I think so, but of course, I'm the mom.
I'm a fan too. I want to let you know she's absolutely gorgeous, and like you, Martina. And this is a
Well, thank you.
yes, mother-daughter producing team, um, Dahlia Faulkner, and you both are building a legacy. Tell us about your collaboration, and is that the Christmas Witch movie? Did she write that?
She wrote our first Christmas movie was #Blessed, and that's on Tubi and Amazon Prime, Up TV, Pure Flix, pretty much all the channels. And yes, she wrote it. And so we came up with the idea, since she is an author, well, why don't we do this series of books that all happens in this magical, mystical Amberlight Valley, which we introduced in #Blessed. And so she wrote her book, which is on Amazon, Christmas Witch. So this will be our next film as soon as I raise enough funds for it. I'm like 80,000 shy. And then the second one, Lost in Time, they're standalones, but yet they're connected stories. So then that will be the following movie. And I figured, I don't live forever, and you can build up something beautiful, but if you don't have someone taking it over, which to me is important, and she has the same outlook on life, and she loves mentoring and she loves being mentored. So I'm literally grooming her to take it all over because she will know everything. And if I'm lucky, I can talk her into co-directing Christmas Witch. So that will be her directing debut. We'll
Oh my,
see.
oh, that would be so fabulous. And I think she would do such a great job at it, and you would be working with her. I mean, I love this so much. Now, you mentioned #Bless the movie. It's now on PureFlix, Up TV, Amazon Prime, Tubi, and more. And
Mhm,
as you said, you're in pre-production for the features Christmas Witch, Co-op Fly the movie, and
mhm.
Ziggy and Moon. And are you
Yes.
are you in the stages of fundraising for all three of them, or just one at this
Yeah, we actually also started a film fund. And the reason behind this is that we're hoping that maybe some folks that don't have anybody to leave their funds to wouldn't mind leaving it or a portion of it to the film funds. And then we take maybe a short we find at our film festival or a very talented writer or director or script, and then we develop it into a feature. We help them make the next
Wow.
project. So the film funding will come from, it will come from the film funding. And then we're doing a lot of fundraisers for Ziggy and Moon and Coop. Coop might be picked up by Sunset Entertainment. So we're pressing our fingers there. And then, just pretty much raising money for all these films. And it's tough right now, especially for
Mhm.
indie films. It really is.
Yes. So I have a couple questions. One is I'm gonna go back and circle back to what you said about legacy. I have a question about that. But my first question is, how can people donate? How can people contribute and be a part of these wonderful feature films that you are in pre-production?
We have a website up, dharmaproduction.com, and there you will find ways of being able to donate for things. Now, obviously, you cannot advertise for investors. So if people are interested in that, we actually don't like calling them investors. I like to call them profit shares because they are giving a portion to the film and in return they get a portion of the profits, which we do our best to make a profit.
100%. That's right. And that is so important. So yes, it's being a part of history, movie making and filmmaking. And it's more than just contributing funds. It's really the structure, the backbone. It's really a support, isn't it, Martina?
It is, and quite often the people that I ran into for #Blessed an example, since it's more of a modern version of It's a Wonderful Life. That's probably a good way of saying it. And there are a lot of people that were, supporting suicide hotlines, or the actress actually that plays in it, Isabella. like Thomas, she's on the board of a suicide prevention hotline. And it was important for us, again, movies with meaning, even so I love the regular Christmas movies and I watch them, but it's the same story, just different faces. And even so, again, I love it. I watch it. I'm a Christmas nut. My whole house turns Christmas, but I wanted to do something different. I just, and everyone says, don't do it. You won't make any money, especially with suicide and in a Christmas movie, just don't do it. And I'm thinking, no, it needs to be said. There's too many young people or people that are alone at Christmas time that, that they're just at that end. And I don't want them go, do that final step. I want them to be around. And I think we succeeded. We did it in such a manner where it's not the hitting you over the head with it, but it's that, wow, And I think the biggest thing Delia and I got out of it when we did do a few of the actual screenings at theaters, to have people walk up afterwards and saying to us, I'm going to get help.
I think that's wonderful. So this is
Yeah.
the message, the social message of the Christmas witch, right?
No, this is for #blessed.
Oh,
That's the message for it. And it's social media, keeping up with the Joneses, thinking that everybody, looks that wonderful in their filters. So that's what the movie is about, but wrapped up in this Christmas story with a really funky grandma and cookie baking and you name it. It's all there. I think people will be really surprised and happy.
okay.
And of course, Santa is in it.
Santa.
We call him our hipster Saint Nick, because he's not the normal Santa, and he will show up in the Christmas Witch. Christmas Witch is about grief, bullying, and again, it's all wrapped up in this magical story and putting magic in a more of a bright light. I grew up in Europe, so I grew up with learning about white magic and black magic. It's not all bad. And Europe is different. It intertwines with your religion. It's very exciting. And so we wanted to create something to show that, look, not all magic is bad. And religion can go hand in hand with other beliefs, and the bullying and, the grief that people go through and having trouble with, but wrapping it up again in this fun story.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. And La Befana is the Italian story. The witch, the Italian witch La Befana.
Yeah.
And I love that story. So I can't, and I'm 18.3% Italian. So of course I'm going to love your story as well. And
well, good.
Where did you grow up in Europe, Martina?
I was born in Germany and lived there for 12 years. And then my family moved to Austria. I lived in Linz and I did my dance degree in Vienna at 18.
Wow. And so were you a professional dancer for?
I was indeed, but I wasn't the corps de ballet. I'm short. I barely scratch 5 feet. I was the solo dancer. I was the feisty character in the musical or something. So it was right up my alley.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that you're from Germany, and I'm 44% German. So I have that. So you're my sister, and I just love connecting with the cultures around the world. It's so important. We're all connected together, and I love your idea of the Christmas witch. And it's going to be so fun. I'm super, please keep me posted. I want to hear all about it, all of the stages that you go through. Please keep me up to date on everything. And
absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. And
you need to come and be in it.
I'd love to be in it. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Yes, cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Martina. You're so wonderful. I would love that. Yes, please think of me. And also, I wanted to circle back to legacy. I wanted to ask you, how important is legacy? Now, you're going to give this to you're sharing everything with your daughter, and I love
yes.
this. I just love your spirit of doing this, and it's it's very, again, it's kind of European. We need it more in America here. We need more mentors who share. I have wonderful mentors who mentor me, and we need more of them, don't we, Martina? Talk to me about how important it is.
Well, to me, it was very important. I was very, very fortunate of being mentored all my life, whether it was dance or whether it was acting or producing or in the movies. So I'm really grateful for that. And I believe that I taught our child from early on. I shouldn't just say my husband and I taught her to also be giving back, whether it was stuffing stockings or wrapping gifts for the needy. And I wanted her to understand that you can keep that forward, pardon me, you can pay that forward just by, can you hear me? Okay, just by doing certain things, like the film festival is mentoring other people, just like she got mentored in writing. So now, that's something she can pay forward, and it will hopefully continue for a very long time.
I love it. I love it. How did you transition from dancing into film?
Well, I taught dance for a very long time, ever since I was 14 years old. I had a dance studio for 34 years and put on lots of events. The kids marched in the Disney parade. And then, of course, when I was in California, a lot of the children wanted to be in movies. And that alone was also a bit of a trap. If you have someone charging a mom $500 for the 1-year-old's portfolio that's outdated in 3 months, things like that. So I started watching out for my dance kids, got them involved in the films, and then my child was involved in it. I put on live events. I helped with the local pageant on live TV with like 3 camera shoots. So I kind of had my hands in it. And my daughter was in numerous films when she was little. We took her out, I think, in 2nd grade because I wanted her to have her education first. It just, to me, it wasn't the thing to do. It was a personal choice, nothing against other folks, but it just, for me, wasn't the thing. And from there, I helped with a film festival for a friend, helped put one on in my hometown for my friends. And then from there, someone asked me if I would help them with a Christmas short in LA. And I said, oh, no, let's not do it in LA. Come to my house. And so they came one weekend to see it and were floored by all the decor and said, okay, well, it's cheaper for us to bring the crew here. And that's the short Evie's Christmas gift. Everything was done in my house and front yard. And the person helping her, which was Linda Palma, asked me, Martina, I would love to have you help produce on Turnover, the movie with Paul Guilfoyle. So I was a producer on that. And the first 3 days, well, actually, I was a prop master because I said, I want to work the set. I want to know what everything is about because it makes you a better person, once you know what everybody else is doing. So the crew had no idea. Like the 4th day in, they realized, oh my God, she's a producer. What did we say? Because I was just in the trenches with them. And then I don't know, I just kind of thought, okay, I really want to do a Christmas movie. So I told my daughter, I said, you've got to write a Christmas film for me. And she said, okay. And then I said, now you have to produce it with me. And she goes, okay. And so we became a producer team. It's literally, that's how it went.
It's amazing. It's such a great story. And it's meant to be, you're supposed to be doing this. And people do need these social messages that you have. And I love that you have meaning. It's so important to have that. Whether it's, you touched on suicide prevention or even just helping through grief or anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
We need more of that compassion in our films, don't we, Martina?
We definitely do, especially when people found out that #blessed is actually loosely based on what my daughter went through. And we as parents had no idea. And the struggles that you and I would have looked at going, oh, we don't understand, why would you get to that point? But when you're young and you go through things, then things hit you harder, I believe. And so talking through that with her and her writing that story actually helped her heal. There's things that are not in the film that contributed to it, but it was healing for her, like I said, and for us it was the harsh reality. Oh my gosh, that could have been our child. And I really thought, okay, this was meant to be. The story has to be out there. If it just helps one person to get help, it's worth it. And my favorite line that she wrote in the film is, I thought my life was falling apart when really it was falling together.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
so beautiful.
true.
Yeah, it really is. It's the universe and the world has a way of balancing itself out with energy. Do you agree with that, Martina?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I just love this. I don't know if you've read the book or watched the movie Celestine Prophecy.
Oh,
I think that one covered it for me the most, where they talk about how people have energy and you can feel it, or the energy suckers. I don't like to hang around negative people. I just don't. I mean, I can handle it for a bit, especially with family, but like this much, then it's enough. I have to be, and my daughter calls it, I'm done peopling.
I'm the same
um,
way.
yeah, and that's actually why we moved also to Arizona. We're up in the White Mountains, Show Low Pine Top, out my backyard. I think I sent you pictures. I can see the deer every day, and it's forest. And it wouldn't be uncommon for me to go out there when I don't feel all that great and just hugging a tree. I don't mind admitting it. The energy in nature is amazing.
I love hearing that.
Crystals. Yeah, I have crystals everywhere in the house.
Me too. I love hugging a tree. And I have, whoops, I'll have to pick that up later. I have spheres and crystals too. I just
Yep.
love them, right? Do you have anything to share? You want to share?
Oh gosh, yes, I have everything everywhere.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Selenite, and then a friend of mine gave me this, and I forgot what it was, but
Ooh, it's very nice. It looks like black obsidian or
yeah, that's what it is. There you go.
okay, very, very
And
nice.
the rest are throughout the house. So
I love it. I love it, Martine. This is so much fun for me. I want to circle back a little bit to you saying earlier that you in Europe they're open more to good magic and bad magic. Can you share a little bit about that for some of our viewers?
certainly, so when you travel throughout Europe, there's still a lot of areas where you can visit. They call it Witch's Tower, where the Inquisition, so that part. But a lot of the people that, just like here, that were deemed as witches, whether they were male or female, were actually, mostly people that just had knowledge of herbs and healing with nature, and that just didn't fit into people's plans. So there are areas like the Harz, Harz, where you will see witches everywhere, like in windows and shops. But they call them kitchen witches or good luck witches. They're there to ward off the evil. And I believe it's April 30th to May 1st, where they actually hold I think it's the Wolfshager Witches Brew, and they do a dance where they just all dress up like witches, and it's caught on in the US too, by the way. I think I tagged you in that today. They actually drive out the evil so that the May Queen can come in. And it's just amazing how they were able to combine, because remember, there were so many different religions, and a lot of things that we celebrate these days, I know this is probably going to get me in trouble too, but are actually, based on pagan, the Easter egg.
That's so
It's a
true.
fertility thing,
Yes, yes.
it's just when Christianity came, they had to find a way to marry the both of them. Just
Together.
like just like La Befana,
Yeah.
she flies around January 6th, which in Europe now they celebrate the Holy Three Kings bringing gifts.
Yes. So it all
So
coincides, doesn't it?
yes, so growing up with that, I just had a different um, outlook. I mean, I was a kid that would walk through the forest and build fairy houses. We still do that. My daughter will do it with me. I mean, when we go somewhere, we'll build a little fairy house in the middle of the forest. It's just one of those fun things that I don't think it hurts anything. I think if you have a little bit
Yeah.
more of an open mind and embrace all different beliefs, they cannot all be true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yes.
not one can be right, but there's a basic truth in all of them. You don't kill, you don't steal, like the Ten Commandments, but there's these basic principles that I think you can look at things and you can come together. And I think once we have that tolerance, we'll have true world peace.
Absolutely, I agree. And it's kind of like the news. I watch all different channels. I watch everything, Martina. Do you? And then I draw my
Yes.
own conclusions. So if you look at the whole, you're absolutely right. There's a little bit of all the faiths. They all have a lot in common. And there's a
Yeah.
little bit of this and a little bit of that. And they all really come together. They're all
Yeah.
interwoven. So I just love you talking about that and enjoy this conversation so, so much. So it's fascinating. So yes, definitely. And today, many women like to cook with herbs and things like that. And I hope the world has changed and it's more tolerant because I think it has. Do you?
I believe so. And I think as we grow as human beings, a lot of the powers that we actually have, the abilities that are buried in us, I mean, we use what, 5%, 10% of our brain? I forgot. If once we develop this abilities, that will be then totally normal, which would, you know, get us burned hundreds of years ago. And in today's age, people would go, yeah, sure, it's some parlor trick. But, I do think that we're very, very powerful with our words, with our thoughts, with our actions already. You know, they always say, what's American saying? Sticks and stones will break my bones. But, words really can hurt and they can influence people. And how we speak and how we treat others could have an effect on them that day, how they treat people. So I truly believe in karma. I believe in a universal God. I believe in a universal power. I don't like to give it names because then again, you're just taking a side. And I just want to be open-minded. I want to be a kind person. I want to be a good person. I want to live by the basic rules. Um, I was brought up Christian and I just love good people,
Me
good,
too.
open-minded people.
I agree with you. And I love the ancient ways. I'm always fascinated to learn ancient ways because that's important. The old ways still work. They're tried and true. And there's so much interesting, history. And so I agree with you 100%. I did want to mention your publishing company. Shield Maiden Moon Publishing has published several books written by your daughter, Dahlia Faulkner, and the Amberlight Valley book series, including The Christmas Witch, Lost in Time, which you showed. Thank you for that. The Magic of Night, all available on Amazon.com. And
Mhm.
do you want to talk about what's the Magic of Night about?
Well, let me grab it real quick.
Okay, sounds good. And I just want to cheers to everybody. Thank you for watching. Wow. Oh, that's so sweet. The Magic of Night. Oh, is it a children's book?
It's a children's book, and it deals with being afraid at night. It was the illustrations were done by Derek Rami or Rami Balboa. He's in the Philippines. He's just a wonderful person. His family, a few years ago, completely lost their house in one of the big storms. And he just is a filmmaker himself and just a wonderful, wonderful artist. I mean, he exactly drew what she wrote. He just like he could look into her brain. It's just so beautiful. And it's basically a story of a little child that's afraid to go to bed, as so many are. And she's telling her mom how outside the house there's these monsters. She sees all of those monsters, and is looking at these little monsters in the grass. And then her mom says, "Look closer. They're the fireflies."
Isn't that beautiful?
And then the wind, that she thinks it's a ghost that's moving the curtain around, and where in fact it's the wind. And so mom tells her it's just the wind blowing. Look, and so she actually then wants to experience other things.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
beautiful illustrations, and thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much, Martina. I've enjoyed this so
Thank you.
much. And I'm sorry we're gonna have to start wrapping it up soon, but I'm just so happy we had this time together. You are absolutely a wonderful, beautiful heart. And
Thank you very much.
I do want to say thank you to also, I want to thank also Catherine Kramer, for referring Martina to us. Thank you, Catherine. You're
Yes.
absolutely amazing, and thank you so much. We are so grateful.
She's on our honorary advisory board for the film festival. So there's another mentor paying it back, or paying it forward.
Wow, we're so grateful and thankful to Catherine, and we appreciate you, Catherine. And like you said, another great mentor. And she comes from a family. Her father was it Stanley Kramer, and a
Yes.
famous director, and you've seen so many of his wonderful movies. And I'm just so honored and thankful to you and her. So I bet you love working with Catherine, right? Isn't it fun?
Yeah, she's amazing, and so is her sister. I actually did the set photography for her first one, and the art made it on the poster, which is great. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Wow.
And the gal that I mentored, Christina Brown, from age 7 on, first in dance, then in props. She actually did all of the props, and she's now working with them as their prop master, and she works in my films.
Excellent. Excellent. And this is what it's all about, isn't it? The
Mhm.
connecting, networking, helping out where we can. And you have such a beautiful heart, Martina. And
Thank you very much.
I want to be friends with you. Please let us be friends always. And I'm so glad.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I'm so glad we're Facebook friends. And everyone, please follow Martina and on Facebook and Instagram. And let's see, we've got some nice contact information here. Hashtag bless the movie, christmaswitchmovie.com, showlowfilmfestival.com, dharmaproduction.com, and you're on IMDb and dahliafaulkner.com. And again, it's wonderful. The Christmas Witch. Here's her contact information on screen if you're interested of being a part of it. What a fabulous production. And is there anything else you'd like to promote or give a shout out to, Martina?
Well, I think I already mentioned the Sweetwater opening, and of course the film festival. You know, all the films that I'm working with currently, Fly, which is an indoor skydiving film written by Doc Skinner, and Coop is about a recovering athlete that lost its leg and a dog that is handicapped. Ziggy and Moon is about a child meeting an alien, little cute little animal. I don't know. They're all feel good movies. They all have a really, really good thing. So I would say I would just have to promote that, not just even mine, indie films. Help someone out, Maybe you don't have the money, but maybe you can cook a meal for that day for the crew. There's so many ways to help out in a film. It's incredible. Just, reach out, and if you like it, yeah, you'll get hooked.
Absolutely. And I love how you started in volunteering at a film festival for your friend. And then here you are now. Look at you. You are amazing, Martina.
Thank you. So are you. Look at you. You have your own talk show. My gosh.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank my mentors that have helped me, Ninon DeVere DeRosa and Georgette Dante and Kimberly Skirm and Judah Ray. There's so many to thank, and I just want to thank them all so much for being a part of my life. And also, I have my little bat candle here. It's kind of for Halloween. I hope you can see it. And I did want to send a lot of love and blessings out to everyone. And also, I want to say happy Halloween, happy fall and autumn harvest, and happy All Saints Day. That's coming up November 1st, isn't it, Martina?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
happy Halloween to you and everybody. And anything else you wanted to say, Martina?
Just sending out lots of love for everyone and just be kind to each other, especially with the election coming up, You might have different opinions, but just look at the person for who they are and just be kind.
Those words are golden, and let's live by them, shall we? And to that, I give you a cheers and thank you so much, Martina. Until we meet again.
You got it. Thank you for having me very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.